What's up, Carlos?
What's up, Joe? How you been?
I've been good. I've been good. I'm glad I'm sitting here with you right now. This is actually when was the last time we saw each other?
Yo, it's been like 10 years, bro. Probably more.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. I mean, we've saw each other here and there, but never haven't like really chilled and stuff like that. So I'm glad we got it back together. Get the old crew back for a little bit.
Nah, for
Yeah,
sure, man. A lot of good times, bro. A
yeah.
lot of good times.
So I want to thank you for being here on the show with me. It's a pleasure always getting to do people and stuff like that. And in this case, doing it with somebody like you who I've known for like years, but don't know all the things that the show pertains to, like your five senses, your topic. So I think it's a good thing to go over these things with you, and I think it's gonna show me something a little bit new about you that I don't know and stuff like that. Even though we've known each other for maybe like
For sure.
I think maybe 20.
Been like 20 years, bro.
Probably,
Probably
yeah.
more. Probably
All
more
right,
than
cool.
20 years, bro.
So I'll take
Life
it.
is crazy. Life is
But
crazy.
again, welcome to the show, Carlos.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
If
me.
you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
How's everybody doing today? My name is Carlos. Most people know me as C Nasty. You can find me on Instagram, C Nasty68. So basically, I'm born in New York City, raised here in Orlando, Florida. Well, Kissimmee, right? Most
Yeah,
people, well, we were
yeah.
born in, we were raised in Kissimmee.
K-Town.
Yeah, y'all already know. So basically, what I do now, I grew up with these guys right here, going to high school. Out of high school, we went to a little bit of college, right?
Yeah.
That shit wasn't for us.
Smidge.
It just wasn't for us.
Yeah.
After that, we all went out our separate ways. Now I'm actually I do sales outside of the whole music aspect. So life is good, bro.
Yeah.
Life is good, man.
Good. And like you said, we all went our separate ways, but it's always good to like come back. The one thing I can say with a lot of the people that I went to like high school with and chill with is that there's always been like we're good. Everybody's good. Like there's some people that I know that don't speak with nobody that they know from like high school.
Yeah.
That or they're like not cool with each other anymore like that. But I can say at least there's a group of people that I know from school that I know that if I can hit up right now that it'll feel like we were just back in the day and stuff. So that's the one thing that I can say about this group of friends that at least that I've been blessed with.
One thing about our group of friends though is that they're not just they're not friends, they brothers, right? We grew up, we've been through a lot of crazy things. We've lost some close friends as well. RP Steph. A lot of things have happened between us that it kind of brought us closer. We a little bit more than just friends, bro. We family and shit.
Yeah. So that's one thing I can't deny. And the crazy thing is I know that that's not common. So like I try not to take it for granted and stuff.
No.
So
For sure. And most of our close friends, for the most part, I want to say 99.9% of them, we all killing it in whatever we doing.
yeah, all
We
day,
all
every day.
killing that
All
shit.
day, every day. And we'll continue to until our kids after us.
Nah, for sure. For sure.
But again, welcome to the show. So for anybody
Thank
that
you,
might
thank
have
you.
forgot what the show's about, we're gonna go through all of Carlos, and he's gonna explain some stuff about himself and the things that are his favorite parts about it. So I'll ask you 3 topics, and then after that, we'll go into your favorite senses and then also your proud moment. So
Perfect.
I'm
Let's do
excited
it. Let's
for
do it.
this. So we're just gonna get right into it. So the first thing that you had listed on your topics for your favorite parts was politics, which
Love it. Love it.
yeah, and given the season that we're in, it's probably the prime time for it.
I know what time it is.
So in this case, tell the audience why politics is one of your favorite parts.
Why I love politics is because politics plays a major role in how we live our everyday lives, right? From inflation to border security, a lot of these things, they play a major part in our everyday lives. So we want to make sure that we picking the right people to do the right job, because if not, it makes our life difficult, And I'm trying to work for peace, bro. Trying to work for peace in my mind. I know a lot of people want world peace, but I want peace in my home.
Yeah, it's got to start at the granular level and then
sure.
expand after that. If you can't have it in here, how are you going to have it anywhere else?
For sure, man.
But is there something in specific that like sparked it for you, or that made you say, "Damn, I got to start paying attention to this a lot more"? Because usually when we're young, we don't care about nothing. But like at some point, it clicks in your head that you be like, "Yo, I gotta."
Yeah, honestly, when we was growing up, we didn't really have like social media and all of that. So politics was something that you kind of just saw it on TV. It wasn't like now where every day on your feed, you got different things that are coming up, that it kind of drifts you in that direction, But I feel like politics for me, once I was old enough to understand the role that it plays in our everyday lives, then I started to kind of read more about it, look into it, kind of really check on, the people that we vote for, their policies, because that's very important, right? Most people, they don't realize, they just think, well, my vote don't count. I mean, who knows, right? We don't really know, but
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that, somehow being like, okay, I went and I voted for this person, whether my shit counted or not. I was a part of that,
Yeah.
right? And if you're not voting, you don't really have an opinion, bro. I mean, you have an option, pick who you think is gonna work, and then let's move it forward, man. We all want the best.
Yeah, and it's with that being said, it gives me the mindset that you want to take more control of what goes on around you,
Of course.
and stuff. And I think that's a good thing. And I think that's what most people don't understand about politics, or don't think about politics, is that they don't think about the, hey, I want to take part in everything that goes on around me. I've always been the type of person to think that you don't deserve to complain about something if you're not willing to do anything about it. So you might not want to vote, you might not think your vote doesn't count, but at the same time, stop complaining if you're not going to vote.
Yeah, and keep in mind, man, the way I look at it is that I'm not voting for me, right? Like, I feel like no matter what president comes into office now, my next 4 years, it may change a little bit.
Yeah.
8 years, maybe. 12 years, all right, we'll see some change.
Yeah.
But, I got 2 kids now. So, shout out to Sophia, shout out to Romy. I'm going for a better future for my kids. I'm trying to pick the right people so that they can elect the people behind them, and so on and so forth, so my kids can have a better future. I feel like as a parent, my job is to find a way to make their life better and easier than my life was.
Yeah, and I agree. And I'm not a parent, but I would hope that the day that I do become a parent, and just like my parents did for me, at the end of the day, you should be doing everything you can to make sure your kids have a better future than yourself. And if that's something as frivolous as what people think is voting, then do it. Because at the end of the day, you never know if it can make their lives 1% better. That makes it worth it at the end of the day.
For sure, man. And honestly, that's the greatest gift in the world, my kids. I feel like they changed my life, and I feel like they put me in a situation where I don't think about myself anymore, right? Like, when I make my decisions, it's all based on what's better for them. How can whatever I'm doing benefit them 5, 10, 15 years from now? Like, I feel like when I grew up, I was a very selfish person. I only worried about myself. I only worried about, what was good and in it for me. Now, my life's a little bit different.
Yeah. And I think that's a good way to think about it. And I don't think people think about politics in that manner, that it's a way to like think about everybody else and make sure everybody else is set.
No, for sure, brother, for sure.
I appreciate you sharing that with me, because that's a perspective of politics that I haven't heard before. So I'm assuming the audience probably hasn't heard a perspective of that too. So
it's all about the kids, baby.
With that being said, that'll take us on to our next subject that you have, and that's going to be relationships, which I'm curious to see what this one is going to be about and what type of relationships you're talking about, or just in general. So tell the audience again why this is one of your favorite parts.
So I feel like relationships are a big part of life, depending on, the type of people you have around you. I mean, relationships include, your friends, your significant other. These choices are going to affect how your everyday life moves, right? Like, you hang around people that ain't doing shit, chances are you ain't gonna do shit, right? But if you hanging around people that are making moves, that they hungry, that they getting money, then you got no choice really than to be like them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like having like the right people around you, the right team around you, the right significant other around you, really makes life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I
agree with that now, especially getting older and everything like that. I do find that like you're a product of your environment. That includes the people
very true
that are around you and stuff like that. And there's a saying that goes that if you're the smartest person in the room, that you need to leave that room.
Very true.
Because you're in the wrong room and stuff. So, but what is it like? Is there something specific that made you say, again, like clicked in your head that been like, hey, I gotta, make sure that I focus on these relationships?
Well, because you're going to deal with a lot of people in your life. As far as friends are concerned, you're going to deal with people that are going to come in your life. They're good people, they're your friends, but then you're going to come across certain people that are like your brothers, right? Like they surpass that, how can I put it to you? They no longer friends no more. Now they family. Like blood ain't going to make you any closer, right? Like I trust you, you trust me, you got my back, I got your back. I know that no matter what, I could call certain people and they're gonna show up. And those are the type of people that you want.
Yeah.
And as far as other type of relationships, like my significant other, my fiance, right? Like she does a lot of things for me that make my life easier too, right? Like I really and truly believe that if you pick the right people, I mean, and significant other, I mean, that you have to be a team.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have one complements the other.
Yeah.
It can't be so much in a situation where it's like, you know, you got to chase a person around, worry about what they doing. Like you're not looking for that because life's hard enough as it is, right? So like in relationships, you got to look for peace. I can't worry about what my girl doing. I can't worry about what my best friend doing. I can't worry about shit like that because my life, the way that it is running at 100 miles an hour every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and all that shit are speed bumps.
Yeah. And I 100% agree with that even more now that, you know, the thought of team and stuff like that. I think
Yeah, man, always.
I think people sometimes get so caught up in the individual struggles that they don't worry about like the team struggles and stuff. Like everybody's a unit, whether you're friends or something like that, whether you're in a relationship, you got to remember that if you're trying to take care of each other, then everybody's taken care of. If I'm trying to take care of you, you're trying to take care of me, we're both good because that's what I got to worry about. But if you're worried about you and I'm worried about you, then somebody's missing out on that.
That's why Jay-Z says each of us will be each other's crutches.
Yeah.
You know, so very, very rule, I think is a gem. Put the right people around you. You're not gonna make it by yourself. I know these people say I made it by myself. That's lies, bro. They had the right team around them, the right people, maybe the right significant other, the right best friend, the right business partner, the right manager. But you got to do it in a team.
Yeah.
You got to do it in a team because everybody brings something to the table that is gonna affect the flow of everything. So you got to do things the right way.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, and I think that's a good lesson for everybody to carry in life. And anybody that may be going through stuff and think that they're alone,
No, for sure.
there's somebody out there that's going to help you out. So,
Yo, surround yourself around good people. Surround yourself around good people, significant others, best friends. Your circle ain't got to be that big, and not everybody's not your friend.
life lessons, take that. And that's true words, true words. And for anybody out there with big circles and stuff, you're blessed because it's like I said, it's not often that happens and stuff. So
yeah, brother.
I appreciate that. That's, again, another way to look at things. When you first said relationships, I was wondering where it was going to lead to, and that's...
Bro, that shit could lead so many places. It's crazy, but the
but
core of it, that's what it is.
Yeah, and I love it. That takes us to our last topic for you, and that's character building. This one, again, you know, given we haven't spoken with each other in a while, it made me curious to see what you were going to say about that. So tell the audience why character building is one of your favorite parts.
Well, in the occupation that I do now, my job, I'm a sales manager. So I'm in charge of like 80 plus people on a daily basis, making sure that they reach their goals, making sure that they hit the numbers that they have to hit, right? Because we a team, right? So when I mean character building, what I'm talking about is taking somebody who may necessarily not see their potential and take them to the next level, right? Like, in my job now, I'm here to close tables, right? Master closer shit.
Yeah.
But in real life, my job is to motivate the salespeople to be great. You know, to excel in their lives so that their lives could change. Because if their lives are better, my life is better.
Yeah.
Right. So character building in a sense from just taking somebody from 0 and taking them to 100 when they didn't see it coming.
And I think that's a good way to look at it, because most managers, unfortunately, they focus about just getting their job done and making sure that the job's getting done by the people around them. They're not really investing into the people that's around them and stuff. I feel like if you take care of your associates, you know, they'll always take care of you. I 100% believe that.
Yes.
And take care of whoever they're assisting and stuff like that. But what do you get out of it when you do it? Like, is it something that you get out of like helping them in that way? Does it, whether it's making your job easier or just seeing them get to places that you thought they couldn't get?
So there's a saying that says invest into people and things that give you more time. So what I'm looking for is more quality time with my family. So the more I help somebody, right, the more it's going to help me out. I may not have, you know, a month or be every single day there with my family, but when we do hang out, when we do spend money, when we go on a vacation, we're doing some dope ass shit. We're not just doing some regular normal, yo, we're going to go here and then we're going to fuck around over here. It ain't going to work like that. Like my shit's going to be dope. It's going to be a movie.
And so it gives you that peace of mind that knowing that, yo, I can dip and I can do what I got to do and shit's getting taken care of.
Yo, people pay more for peace of mind. You know, I'm a big believer. You pay for convenience.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay and let somebody else do that shit and have more time to myself and my family.
I think that's a good way to look at it versus life is what you get out of it. You obviously seem like you want to be there for all the stuff with your kids. You want to be there for your wife and everything. So
Who doesn't?
You're paying that cost to do that. And
Yes.
and
Somebody's got to do it.
I think that's the best way to look at it and stuff. And again, this is the third time that you taught me something that I wasn't aware of. Because when you think of character building, first you started talking about, you know, developing your people and stuff like that, making them better and everything. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But I never thought of the reason that you would want to do that is so that you can go and you have peace of mind at home.
Very true.
And stuff.
That'll make your life easy, bro.
Yeah. And that's another way to look at it. So especially now in corporate times where everybody do is work, nobody gets time off, nobody gets this and that. The fact that you can develop people and have that be an asset to you is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
and,
bro.
And same thing too. You're not just benefiting from that. The people that you're teaching all these skills to, they'll benefit from it and get to places because a lot of people don't invest into their people.
You gotta invest into people.
You know, they just pull in from everywhere else instead of the people they have there and stuff. So I think that's a good investment into people. And just from the three answers that you've given me, it shows that you have a sense of value of people.
Yeah, I'm a people person.
Yeah.
People person, bro. Always been. People will teach you a lot of things, man. They'll teach you good and they'll teach you bad things.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta pick and choose, you know, what you run with. But
and you gotta be
people is everything.
And you gotta be able to identify what those qualities are, whether bad or good.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. You know? So that takes us to the end of your favorite parts. So that leads us into the next section, which is going to be your senses. So for everybody that doesn't know, I'm going to ask, we all have 5 senses. They're your sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. I think I said them all right. So we're going to ask Carlos what his favorite of each is, and we're not asking for which one is his favorite, but what's his favorite of each sense. So your favorite smell, your favorite touch, your favorite sound. So you can hit it off with whatever one you want first, or if you want, I can just
just ask me whatever, and I just
all right. Give me your favorite. I'll save one for last that I think it will be good for you. But what's your favorite taste?
My favorite taste, I would say, is my mom's cooking, right? Because I feel like that's something that brings me back to a time that it don't really exist no more, right? Like, not saying that I can't go to my mom's house, but just saying that every time I get the opportunity to have it takes me back to when I was living with her and we was having that all the time, you know? So I feel like that's one of my favorite tastes.
Because it takes you back to that.
Yeah, man.
I 100% agree with that, especially now.
More life.
Living in Seattle and stuff now too. There's times where I'm like just craving your mom's food. Like, so now that I'm here, we're recording this in Florida. So I'm visiting my parents. So I've been living life for the past like couple days and stuff because mom's been hooking it up and everything like that. So I 100% agree and understand where that sentiment comes from.
Yeah, man. I got a lot of good things that I love to taste, bro. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I want to focus it more on that because, you know, family's everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So that takes us from the taste. So what's your favorite touch?
Oh, man, that's my favorite one out of all of them, right? And
I'm curious.
The reason why I tell you that is because, you know, growing up, your favorite touches change.
Yeah.
You know, what you consider your favorite thing, right? So right now, my favorite thing is when I show up from work and I walk in through the door and both my kids come running to me. Them hugs that they give me, it's crazy. Them hugs that they give me, it gives me purpose. It gives me reason. It shows me that, you know what, you're not just sacrificing for nothing. You're doing it for these kids, for them to have a better future. So I would say that that's my favorite touch, man. The hugs from your loved ones. Because again, you don't even know how long you're going to have these people around you. You know, people lose people every day. And sometimes you see it coming. Sometimes you don't. No matter how it plays out, sometimes you're not going to get that again. So I want to make sure I cherish those type of things.
I've asked this question probably, well, just for the podcast, probably 11 times. I think this is our 12th episode, probably 11 times and stuff. It's the first time I've heard a response like that, and it's probably one of my favorite responses that I've gotten.
Awesome.
because it's weird how people, when you ask a question about like a sense and stuff, like what they perceive it as and stuff, and that feeling, like I imagine, like I'm getting goosebumps talking about it and shit right now, but I wouldn't think
It's
that
the best thing in the world, bro.
it is. That's probably, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably one of the my favorite
Yeah.
ones. But
Yeah.
to think of it, the sense of touch in that way, and to make it like something that's sentimental to you, is insane. So I applaud you. Your kids are probably lucky that they have you, as you're
Sure.
lucky for them.
Shout out Romy. Shout out Sophia.
So that takes us from the touch. So now we got 3 left. Give me your favorite smell.
Favorite smell, man. I love when my girl wears that Burberry her. That shit is really good. But again, I would also bring it back to, you know, like the smell of, like, one thing that I love is all my aunts, the way they cook, right? So just like my mom's cooking is something, that taste is special. So is that smell,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't know I mean, we all grew up in an environment where, we got our family's a lot of people. There's a lot of energy going on, right? So when you go up to their houses and you smell that smell of like old school cooking, right? It's not just regular cooking.
Yeah.
Like regular cooking, you know what the shit is. Like you walk in, you're like, oh, they're using adobo, they're using sazon and shit.
Yeah.
But like I'm talking about that cooking that you're like, yo, I know this shit about to taste good,
Yeah.
right? Like there's gonna come a point in time where you're not gonna smell that no more.
Yeah.
Right. So
that
like,
sucks.
yeah, that sucks, man. And I feel like, now my family, the way that it was back in the day, we used to throw parties every Saturday. So I had that smell every Saturday. And then the next morning, after everybody came back from being drunk, we had that same shit on Sunday. Right. But I feel like now everybody's older, right? Like all those people that we looked up to that were like, yo, I hope one day I could be like them. Right. Like one day, oh my God, my uncle's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Right. But then your uncle not here no more, right? Your aunt not here no more. So who you look up to then, right? At that point, everybody looking up to you. So everything that you doing in your life is gonna set the standard for the people that coming behind you. So I feel like the favorite smell will be that nostalgic smell of, family that you may not ever, you won't ever be able to replicate that.
Yeah, you won't. You can only try and stuff. And again, that's a clever way of thinking about how the sense of smell. And I do agree with that, because even now, like I said, being home and stuff, you catch those little scents and stuff like that makes it feel like home, like comfortable and stuff like that. And to know that one day that won't be there. But I do agree with you that at some point, us as kids and stuff like that, growing up seeing it, at the end of the day, once we get older, it's up to us to see if we want to continue those traditions.
Hell yes.
And stuff.
Tradition is everything.
But I tell you, it's a lot harder than you think and stuff. You think it's gonna be, oh, we'll just continue this. But this time it'll be us. But life gets in the way, and it takes certain people and stuff like that, and everybody to have the same mindset to continue.
Yeah, you gotta understand, bro. There's certain things that we can't replicate from the old school that they, like right now people using measuring cups, right? 1 tablespoon of this, a little sprinkle of that.
These motherfuckers knuckles.
Yo, they doing knuckles. They just grabbing the shit. They just throwing it, however, and it come out great.
Yeah.
And you be measuring shit, and it'll never come out right. It take either too salty, not enough. These people, they just throwing shit.
I make excuses. I tell them it's the pot. I'm like, oh, it's because you got that pot you've been using for 30 years and stuff like that. And I use the pot. Nah, it's not that.
Yo, I don't care, bro. I could buy the same pot they have and I'll burn that shit.
Absolutely.
And
every
they
time.
just, they do wonders, bro. They be doing all kinds of shit. And I feel like I learned from some of the best cooks in the world, bro. Like, and I hope one day I can, if I ever get the opportunity to at least watch them cook it, and maybe one day try to replicate that. Maybe, but not even them, because they don't cook with ingredients. They don't cook with measurements. They cook with love, bro. And you can't replicate that shit.
I already got it in my head that even though I cook, I cook.
You're a chef, right?
Yeah.
What happened to that shit? You still doing that?
I cook every once in a while and stuff like that, but not like professionally or anything like that. But even though I like cook and stuff like that, I'll never make my mom's rice. I'll never make her beans. I'll never do anything like that. And that infuriates me and it saddens me, because like you said, one day it's gonna be gone and shit.
Even if she taught it to you, you're not gonna get it right.
No.
You're not gonna get it
Never.
right.
So that takes us from the smell. So we got 2 more left. It's gonna be sight, and we'll do the last one's gonna be sound. So what's your favorite sight?
The sight of my family being together, and also the sight of checks coming in, making money and shit. You know, obviously that's good. You know,
Making it
the
rain.
side of seeing my family good. You know, seeing my brothers excel, seeing my friends excel, seeing my girl excel, seeing my kids grow up. These are the type of things that I'm focused on now.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I grew up mentally, you know, from the time that we knew each other till now. I feel like I grew up a little bit, you know, mentally now, and I just focus everything on family, man. I
Yeah.
feel like money you can make back, you know, friends you're gonna lose here and there, but you're only gonna have one mom, one dad, one brother, one sister, like that type of shit, man. Like I try to cherish a little bit more. So the sight of everybody around me doing good, I think that's my favorite sight.
Yeah. If I could put a word onto it, I would say is progress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You should be progressing every day. And if not, change your circle.
Yeah.
Change your circle, bro, because all my boys, we dogs, bro. We the fucking best at everything we do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, bro.
And it's good that you're turning a site that you have into something that, again, benefits people and stuff like that, and seeing people happy and stuff, which is it looks like it's prevalent in your life and stuff, to just, you look like you're for everybody.
Bro, at one point, money, once you start making money and money starts coming in, it's not that it don't excite you anymore. It's just that you look for something more than that, right? That's how, like, when you see some people that, not everybody, but you know, some people that they'll smoke bud, they're like, this shit don't do it for me no more. And then they get hard in the drugs and different shit, and some people lose themselves. But I feel like once you make money and it's consistent, and you know everything is, you know, being paid on time, and you know you're not struggling anymore, like I feel like you look for something more than money, you know. And satisfaction to me is watching people progress, and if I can play a role in that somehow, whether it's you know, investing in your future, or you know, motivating you in some type of way, like that's what I look to do, man. You know, I feel like I help you, and then you know, gotta give me something back, hopefully. You know,
hopefully we all get paid back and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, I don't worry about that shit, bro.
Yeah, but again, a great sense, again, because it's something that I didn't expect. But that does take us to our last sentence, which I saved this one for last just because of giving your history and everything with music and everything.
Yes.
So what is your favorite sound?
The sound of a very well composed song. Because most people, when they listen to the song, they may listen to the lyrics. Not anymore these days, but some people do. Some people listen to the beat.
Yeah.
I listen to, you know, the way it was recorded, the ad-libs, you know, the drums that they used, the little words that they punch in. Most people won't even notice it, but I hear all kinds of things. So I'm a fanatic of music, right? I love music. I do music. I write music. So I love when somebody can take nothing and create a banger, bro. Like that shit is crazy, man, you know. And the right song that has to make you feel something, right? Sad, you know, happy, excited. It may motivate you. Something going on with that sound, and if it accomplishes that, love it, bro.
Yeah,
love it.
I 100% agree with that. As somebody that loves music, that's probably one of the reasons why I started the the website and the podcast and everything. I 100% agree with that, because you know, when people listen to music, most of the time they're not listening to everything and stuff like that.
Not really.
Listen to the beat, or the hook is so good that they're just singing the hook and stuff like that. But it's like the little things in the songs that you can listen to, that you'll hear something and you'll be like, damn, I wonder what made them put that there.
Yeah.
And stuff. Granted, you could say whatever you want about him, and he might be controversial, but Kanye, you can listen to some songs, and
classic.
Well, especially a lot of the earlier stuff, and just wonder like, damn, what made him put that there? But I think that's crazy. And usually I give people shit about saying like, oh, music and stuff as their favorite sound, but the way that you're explaining it, that it's the complexity of a song.
I mean, I got a lot of good sounds, right? Like hearing my kids laugh, you know, things like that, like hearing my loved ones speak, like these things are, you know, I love that. But like when we talking about sound, I automatically go to music, because, you know, that's my passion, you know. So when a song is composed properly, you know, it shows me that, you know, there's still an art behind it.
Yeah.
Because most of the music that you listen to now, it be bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it don't have any substance. You know, what they talking about is the same shit. You know, it's really getting played out. That's why I feel like a lot of people really listen to the old school music now. They kind of trying to focus towards old rappers, you know. But greatest rapper ever, 50 Cent. 50 Cent, greatest rapper ever.
Always.
Ever.
And I agree with that some of the people now, we might sound old saying it and stuff, but that the fact that people are listening to like old school music and stuff like that, because I do agree that some of the music that's now isn't as like high quality as it used to be and stuff like that.
We not
Especially,
old, we classic, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
with
we
vintage,
classic, we classic, vintage
vintage.
and shit. We classic.
But yeah, I 100% agree that the quality isn't as good as there, and the reason why that bothers me too about like the way that they compose a song and how they release it, because there's songs that I've listened to that are good songs, but maybe just got the engineering on it wasn't right, like they didn't
Yeah,
mix it
it
correctly and
happens.
stuff like
It
that,
happens.
and it sounds like it doesn't sound as good as it could be, and so that's why you should appreciate like something that's overall a good like product and stuff as far as like a
Yes,
song.
yes, and again, it goes back to when you was talking about Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye's super one of the top rappers ever, but he has a team,
Yeah.
a good team around him, right?
Yeah.
Like a good, they help him do his music, they help him, I'm not sure if they help him write his raps and shit,
Yeah.
but he ain't doing it by himself.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect example of to be great, you ain't gonna do it by yourself, bro.
Yeah.
You need the right people around you.
Yeah, and that just from sitting down and experiencing that with you, it shows that that's something that is relevant to every aspect of somebody's life and stuff.
Yeah, once you learn that, your life will change. Once you learn that.
Absolutely. And then so that takes us from our last five senses, which were amazing in my opinion. They're all different things that I didn't expect, but that takes us to our last question of the day.
What's that?
And that's going to be a proud moment. So,
Hey.
I asked everybody this at the end of it. So, what's something that you've done recently that you're proud of?
Well, outside of my kids, right? Outside of, excelling in my craft outside of music, in sales, I think the position that I'm in now, I'm motivating 80, 100 plus people, and in my job right now, we do morning meetings, right? And these morning meetings are kind of like what you see, online now, where they motivating the whole room. They gotta, pump people up.
Yeah.
So I think me being able to go up there and change somebody, because honestly, I get people that come up to me and be like, yo, man, that shit you said right there really changed the way I thought about something, and it made my day better. I got a sale behind that, So I feel like every time I hear that, that's a proud moment. When I know that I did something that helped somebody excel, right? So these morning meetings, I got to stand up in front of all these people, and I got to motivate all these people, and I got to keep the energy high. And the fact that I can do that, yeah. So yeah, I would love to be rich and famous rapping. I don't get that chance to be in front of a whole stage, in front of a crowd. But when I do that, I feel like I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like I made it. Right. And I just want to pass that on, man, because that feeling, I believe everybody should have that shit.
Yeah. And I think that's a good analogy for it, which you talking about music and the way that it makes you feel. Because with music and probably what you're doing, you're making somebody feel like when you're on a stage and stuff and you're writing your songs and you're performing it. It's the crowd there is supposed to make them feel something. It's giving me the same sense that that's what it does to.
Remember the saying, right? People don't they forget what you said, but they're not gonna forget how you made them feel. Right. So these are things in life that if you learn to play the politics right in your life will be easier.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of, looking at somebody and being like, oh man, their shoes is whack. Right. Or damn, their hair is looking crazy. Be like, how can this person benefit me? Right. So like, I'm a person that I can walk into a room and I'll meet everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's my friend. Everybody loves me. I'm the shit. And I like that. It's a good feeling for me, because I'm like, all right. But at the same time, it's like that rich and famous vibe. I get to feel like kind of famous in a sense. But it's also because, what if this person can help me, make more money?
Yeah.
Right? What if this person can connect me to somebody who can help me make more money?
Yeah.
And I'm over here worrying about their shoes and shit when I should be worrying about how they can help me, right? Because again, everything is going from A to B to C, and I got to get my kids, God forbid I'm not here tomorrow, all the way to Z, bro.
Yeah. Great way to look at it.
Always.
One thing I will say before we move on from that, just to pick back off of that, is that something that you thought you would have found yourself doing like years ago? Not necessarily what you're doing now as far as profession, but motivating people in that way?
I feel like, to be honest with you, out of all my friends, I feel like the glue. I feel like I'm the one that be like, yo, it's this man's birthday. Yo, we got to call this man. We got to go here. And I feel like I've always been that person to my friends. Yo, you got an issue? Come talk to Carlos. Yo, call Carlos. You know, find out what he think about that shit.
Yeah.
And to this day, I get people that randomly call me and they're like, yo, bro, can you just make me laugh, bro? You the funniest person I know. Can you make me laugh? And I'll make them laugh, and then I'll be like, yo, that's good. Thank you. And they'll hang up.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I've always done that in my life. Play some type of role in somebody's life that they're like, this person's special. This person, you know, I should be around me, right? So did I see myself at that level? Not really, right? Because I saw myself as a rapper and shit, right? I saw myself like, yo, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna, you know, be signed to G Unit at one point. That's what I thought, right? Because we was growing up in different times and shit. But you know, that was my mindset, right? Like in my mind, I gotta put myself out there because I feel like I've been given the gift to have such a random personality that I feel like, you know, sometimes that shit work for people, man. You know, some people like that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? And you've always been, one thing I can always say is that you've always been you.
Yeah, bro.
You never changed.
For what?
Yeah. Nothing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, bro.
So
honestly, you made the way you are, and that's how God wants you to be. And honestly, I think that if you made something, you want it to work to the best of its ability, right? Yeah. And I think that's what he wants for you too, man. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's uncomfortable, but I'd rather be the one that's creating the uncomfort than for somebody to create it for me. Yeah. Because I control that shit. Yeah. You know? That's a wonderful way to look at it. Yeah. And that's an amazing, proud moment that I think everybody would applaud for too. Yeah, I love it. Love it. Yo, shout out to all my Westgate people. Shout out. Westgate. Yeah. Yeah. But that does take it to, that does end all the questions that I have for you. So, you know, at the end of the day, how do you feel now? I feel amazing, brother. I feel like I've been blessed. I feel like I've been progressing. I feel like my kids are growing. I feel like, you know, the way things are going, man, as long as shit goes according to at least my plan, right? Because God's plan might be different. Yeah. I think we're gonna be all right, man. Good. You know, I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, yo, you're doing your thing, bro. You killing shit. Yeah. As opposed to back in the day when I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, I was just bullshitting around, you know. And I always knew I was gonna try to do something big, and you know, I always had that feeling, and I still have that feeling now, right? Like, I feel like sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, damn, I'm not living my full potential. Even though people look at me and be like, dog, you killing it. In my mind, I don't see it. I feel like I have a bigger purpose, and you know, I'm still looking for that. Yeah, you know? And I'm glad that you're feeling that way, because a lot of people, when they do feel that, you know, a lot of people want to aim high and stuff like that, but a lot of people don't think they have the potential or get down on themselves or anything. But the worst anybody can do is just chase. Yeah, don't stay stagnant, man. Don't stay stagnant. I mean, if you got kids, your family depends on you. If you don't got kids, yo, pay your mom's house off of some shit, right? Pay your dad's house off of some shit. Try to make the people's lives around you better, right? So if you're making all this money and you don't really got a purpose about kids, your purpose should be, how can I make other people's lives around me better? Yeah, because I agree. At least that's what I believe. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of bringing something to the table. Nobody wants to be the one at the table that's always just eating and never bringing nothing to it. So that's your purpose, bro. Your purpose is your purpose. Amazing, bro. Yeah, bro. So I thank you again for being excuse me, a guest on My Favorite Parts. Thank you for having me. With that being done, is there anything that you want to say to the audience? Anything you want to promote? Anything you got coming up or anything like that? Yeah. Follow me on Instagram, CNasty68. I have my podcast coming out soon, the Real Bread Podcast. Look out for it. I'll be posting it on my Instagram once that time comes. Shout out Moin Pluto, my co-host. Shout out Romy, Sophia, my kids. Shout out my fiance, Daisy. Shout out all my friends and all my relatives all around the world, and everybody that's ever played a major role in my life, or I've played a major role in your life. God bless you, and thank you for allowing me to do that for you. And also shout out to all of our friends. Yo, shout out, what was it? Shout out Live Squad. Live Squad. Hey, shout out. Shout out my family. Shout out our friends. Shout out Larry. Shout out Larry, Gio, Delvis, Marvin, Kevin. Yo, the whole Live Squad, bro. We killing it, bro. Yo, we got a lot of people. My boy JJ, shout out. Yo, all my friends and family, they're doing big things. I'm proud of all of yous. If you ever need me, I'm here. You know, I thank you for having me on your show. Honestly, this is my first time ever getting interviewed, so that shit awesome is job. Thank you, bro. Yeah. So I was nervous at one point, but you know what? Once you be yourself, man, there's no reason to be nervous. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. Just another day. Just another day, another dollar. Yo, get y'all shit together. Thank you guys for joining us on this episode, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. And
Peace.
Yo, peace out.